You are welcome. This is the Messiah Revelation Ministry. We are an end time platform, and today we are looking at the lessons, both practical lessons, academic lessons, and prophetic lessons that we draw from the war, the American Israeli war um, against Iran. What do we learn from the war? Um, Academic lessons, lessons in international politics, geopolitics. Is the war telling us anything about Bible prophecy? And we begin with the academic theoretical lessons. And America is a hegemon, and political scientists and international relation experts they theorize that we need a hegemon in the international system. And most of the theorists, majority of them are Americans who have dominated international politics, political science. And they argue that the world needs a hegemon, a nation that has preponderance of power. And because the hegemon will do things that will benefit the international system. And first of all, they will provide public goods. And a public good is a service that the hegemon provides free of charge, quote unquote, for the international system. And the public good and helps everybody. And we can see that when there is free passage through the Strait of Hormuz, it helps international commerce. And they argue that there are certain services, they call them public goods. It is only the hegemon that can provide, because the hegemon has the power, economic, political, military power, to be able to provide the services. So hegemony is good because the hegemon provides public goods. International peace is public good. Ships passing through the Strait of Hormuz is public goods because it enhances the global economy. And they also argue that hegemony is good because when there's one nation having preponderance of power, that nation will be able to coerce everybody to follow, and it will bring international peace. Of course, that is a theoretical argument that is used to support American hegemony. And we see that the theory is failing, and hegemonic stability theory is failing. And first of all, hegemony does not lead to international peace. Hegemony leads to international war because the hegemon engages in wars that promote the interest, the imperial interest of the hegemon. Here we're talking about America as a hegemon. Will America be able to bring international peace? Will America be able to promote free access to the Strait of Hormuz? There are question marks about it. First of all, America's power is waning, and there are question marks about America's blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. Is it effective? Does America have the capability as a hegemon to blockade the Strait of Hormuz? Will America be able to sustain the war with Iran? Is America a hegemon, or is America in decline? These are the theoretical questions. However, there are also prophetic questions. Number one, we see that the war, American-Israel war with Iran, they are in prophecy, end-time prophecy. And the prophecy about wars and rumors of war, as encoded in Mathew chapter 24, is a war. It's no longer a proxy war. Um, it is not Iran using her proxies to fight America and Israel. It is Iran fighting the war herself. So it is a direct war, and for 40 years, um, people were expecting a war. Iranians were expecting an ultimate war between Iran and the United States since 1979. Of course, I saw how in 1979 Iran humiliated the United States when and American citizens were taken as captives in the American embassy in Tehran following the 1979 Iranian Revolution. And that incident caused President Carter to lose elections. So since that time, since 1979, there has always been war, rumors of war, and America is um, directly and indirectly supporting the war and the Iran-Iraqi war. America was supporting Iraq in the hope that Iraq will be able to weaken Iran. And at a later time, of course, America will also fight a war with Iran. So it is imparting Bible prophecy. There will be wars and rumors of war. February 28, 2026 is no longer a rumor about war. It is war happening. It's a major war, unprecedented, because for the first time, America and Israel are combining their forces to fight Iran, an Islamic country, and a non-Western nation, a nation that is located close to the Strait of Hormuz, that controls the Strait of Hormuz. And so prophetically, the war fulfills Bible prophecy. There will be wars and rumors of war prior to the coming of the Messiah. We are living in the end times, and we expect the Messiah to come soon. Secondly, the war, contrary to American leaders, the war will not result in the total arbitration of Iran because Iran will be preserved, and Iran will be preserved to fight another war because prophecy says so. Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 5 names Persia as one of the powers that will attempt to invade Israel in the last days. If Iran were totally destroyed now, then it means that the Ezekiel prophecy will not be fulfilled. And so, contrary to those who believe that America will be able to destroy Iran completely, that is wrong because Bible prophecy has to be fulfilled. Ezekiel prophecy will have to be fulfilled. Iran is an Ezekiel power, and as we see the capitation of Iranian leaders, bombardment of Iran, at the same time we see Iran is still intact. It's because Bible prophecy has to be fulfilled. Iran cannot be destroyed totally now because Iran will be preserved for a later prophecy as outlined in Ezekiel chapter 38. Thirdly, the war also shows that America is in decline as a hegemon. This war shows how Iran in the hegemony of the United States. You can see this war as Iran's attempt to defeat America's hegemony in the region, in the Middle East. And you can also say Iran has dented America's hegemony, global hegemony. And we will use the Strait of Hormuz to showcase our point. The Lord revealed to me that something was going to happen in the Strait of Hormuz several years before the war started in February 28, 2026. I didn't know what was going to happen in the Strait of Hormuz, but I saw a man running around the Strait of Hormuz, and I saw oil pouring around around the Strait of Hormuz. Lo and behold, it's a war that is happening now involving the Strait of Hormuz. And how has the war fared so far? Iran closed the Strait of Hormuz, and in response, in retaliation, America also decided to blockade the Strait of Hormuz, tactically to blockade ships going to and coming out of the ports of Iran. Has America been able to close the Strait of Hormuz? Has America the capability and the willpower to continue blockading the Strait of Hormuz? Reports that came, some of them said that even with American blockade of the Strait of Hormuz, some ships were able to come out of the blockade, and they sighted Iranian vessels, they sighted Chinese vessels. So it means that the blockade was not 100% at least. And the blockade is also showing that America's power as a hegemon is limited. Iran is threatening to close the Red Sea in the future, not if depending upon what happens with America's blockade of the Strait of Hormuz, and if there's any resumption of future hostilities between America, Israel, and Iran. Does Iran have the capability to close the Red Sea? You can say yes, because America saw in the past that the Houthis aligned with Iran, and they closed the Strait of Hormuz, and America could not completely dislodge the Houthis from the the Houthis closed the Red Sea, and America was not able to completely dislodge the Houthis from the Red Sea. And some people also believe that Iran herself, even without the Houthis, will be able to cause damage to ships passing through the Red Sea because of Iranians' capability to destroy or to target ships that will pass through the Red Sea. Iran is challenging America's hegemony, and of course, America's hegemony is in decline, and it's part of Bible prophecy. The nations in this world, they will be shaken, and with the coming of the President Trump, we have seen the shaking of nations, and America itself has been shaken, and her hegemony has been shaken, and there are data indicating that Iran was able to target American bases in the Middle East and destroy the bases, and American services were not able to continue in those. Iran is fighting an asymmetrical warfare. It is not fighting a vertical war with America and Israel. Iran has extended the theater of war by extending the fight to America's bases in the Middle East, extending the fight globally, because this closure of the Strait of Hormuz has global implication. And you can see that in that sense, Iran has been able to project global power to the point that it's able to shape global economy, and even to the point of dividing America's alliance in the Gulf region and also even NATO alliance. No NATO nation has come to America's aid in the blockade of the Strait of Hormuz, and Gulf nations, some of them are worried that Iran will be able to retaliate against the economies should America engage in certain strikes. And you see the American president even suspending his intended obliteration of the Iranian civilization. And so you can see that this war has shown that, one, the war is an anti-hegemony war, and this is how Iran is fighting it. The war is being fought to topple America's hegemony in the Middle East, and the perception is that Iran has won, in some respect, the fight against America, having projected power and having even survived up to this point, despite the bombardments of Iranian facilities. Iran is still fighting. Iran may be down economically, but politically they have the will, and they still have some element of capability to project their power and also to cause damage, political damage to America, economic damage to America. And you can see that the war is extended to America because the war is affecting Americans' economy. And the war has the potential also to affect domestic politics, knowing very well that 2026 is a midterm year for United States. Iran has been able to project power, and when the Strait of Hormuz is closed by Iran, and Iran is dictating terms with regard to the Strait of Hormuz, it means that Iran, at least for the time being, is projecting power, and it is dictating certain terms. And that is contrary to the theory of hegemony. The theory assumes that the hegemon has preponderance of power and will be able to coerce her followers, and will be able to dictate her will on the global scale. And we see that America, at least, has not succeeded in projecting her power over the Strait of Hormuz. America has not been able to succeed. America has not succeeded to cause Iran to surrender and to accept the terms that America is dictating to Iran, unconditional surrender. It has not happened. And despite the decapitation of Iranian leadership, Iran is still able to sustain the war and trying to prolong the war, extend the war, and also to suffer the damage for the time being, to prolong the war, and that will be in Iranians' favor, and that will cause domestic problems in United States, and also to affect global perception America's ability to project power in the Middle East, America's ability to cause Iran to surrender. And so we see that this war has theoretical implications. It has actually redefined the theory of hegemony and the practical lessons, whether America as a hegemon will be able to project her power, whether America will flee from the Gulf, whether America will be able to cause Iran to surrender. Is the hegemon willing to promote peace, as hegemony stability theory talks about? Is America ready to provide public goods? Of course, America told NATO allies to help her to open the Strait of Hormuz. America is telling other nations to help her to enforce the blockade against Iran. It means the hegemon is asking for help. The hegemon is asking for help from the global system. And so that is a dent on the theory of hegemony that assumes that a hegemon will have a preponderance of power and will be able to project her power on a global scale and will be able to cause other nations to follow. And to that extent, the theory of hegemony is flawed. We are living in a multipolar world, and China, Russia, they are challenging America's hegemony in the Middle East and in the world. And Iran is on the verge of becoming a regional power and to some extent a global power. Iran will be preserved. Iran will not be totally obliterated because Iran will be preserved to fight another war in the future. And this war will be against Israel. It will be part of the Ezekiel war, as stated in Ezekiel chapter 38. As we see the war progressing, American-Israel war against Iran, we see dissension inside United States. Many people are now challenging the war, and they argue that it is an Israeli war and America should not fight Iran in the interest of Israel. And so for the first time in a long time, we see anti-Israel sentiments rising up inside the United States. Prophetically, it answers the question, why is it that America is not mentioned in the Ezekiel war, a war that we see powers moving to Israel to invade Israel? Why is America not mentioned? And some people argue that America will have been destroyed at that time, or something will happen that will make America unwilling to come to the side of Israel. At least this war is showing that the level of anti-Israel sentiment has risen as a result of this war, as many Americans see this war as Israel's war, not American war, and they want America to disengage from the war. And so this war gives us lessons from the academic realm that a hegemon is unable to sustain her power globally forever. There comes a time when the power of the hegemon declines. This war shows that America's power has declined as a hegemon, and this hegemonic declension is a dent on the theory of hegemonic stability, the theory that a nation that has preponderance of power will be able to project power globally, and that will be in the interest of the global economy that will ensure peace system. And this has not happened. Hegemony does not lead to peace. It is only the Messiah that will bring peace in the world. America will not be able to bring peace in Israel. America will not be able to bring peace in the Middle East. And Israel will not be able to defend herself. Of course, this war has shown that Israeli defense has some flaws, and you can see this by looking at Iranian ballistic missiles that were able to penetrate defenses of Israel. Woe unto the one who trusts on men and whose heart departs from God. Jeremiah 17 verse 5 is the scripture. The Messiah is coming, and is coming to bring peace in the international system. It is not the hegemon, it is not America that will bring peace in the international system. America will contribute to instability in the global system. America has contributed to war in the international system, as this war shows, and America will decline. And it is consistent with Bible prophecy that the nations of this world will be realigned and nations will be toppled. The Lord will use the weakest things in this world to humble the prideful nations. This war has shown us lessons that Bible prophecy will be fulfilled. Isaiah 55:11 is our test. Any word that comes from the mouth of God will be fulfilled. There will be wars and rumors of wars, and we are seeing it as America and Israel are fighting Iran. Iran will be preserved until the time of the Ezekiel war, and no nation can destroy or obliterate Iran because that will be against Bible prophecy. And America is declining, and this war has shown the weakness in Americans' offensive and defensive capabilities, and it shows that nations will be realigned. We are moving towards realignment of nations, and ultimately, the final realignment will come based upon Daniel 2:44, when this world sees the destruction of all empires. This world sees all empires destroyed and the installation of the kingdom of the Messiah. So we are living in the days where Bible prophecy is being implicated, and the war, the February 28, 2026 war, shows us that Bible prophecy is being fulfilled. Wars and rumors of war, and Iran is being projected to the front because the prophecy in Ezekiel 38 is being realigned, and God is about to do something new. Ezekiel war is coming, and the Lord is about to do certain things, and nations are being reshuffled, and Americans' power is not everlasting. It has limitation. And this war has provided us an opportunity to see how America is in decline. This is Messiah Revelation Ministry. Watch this video, share this video. Thank you for watching this video.